Welcome to Thornraver, Battle for Solace, Part 3, Phases of Play. Throughout this video, we will show you the 5 phases of play during each player's turn. First, players will draw 3 horde cards from their deck and keep them hidden from their opponent. Next, players will both draw a region card. The player that receives the higher valued card will determine if they would like to go first or pass, but not until they've added these 6 cards to the neutral area. Capitals will not be placed until after these 6 cards have been shown, but once they have been placed, the player who decides to go first will reveal his headquarters and both capitals. The headquarters card has a lot of influence in the game, starting with Phase 1, Headquarter Influence. During this phase, your headquarters will move a card from its region or color 2 movements towards you. When a card is moved from the neutral area with a draw icon on it, you must add a new card to the game. The move phase. First, a player must choose a starting card. Move that card into the row designated on the card and make all associated movements shown at the top right of the card. In this example, the player must move a blue and a red card +1. There's also a +3 for a white card. However, there's no white cards on the board, so this can be ignored. A red card has been placed in allies. Player will find an associated resource token and place it in the headquarters on the map. Looking back at the starting card, you'll see a Thornraver icon on it. This enables you to play a Thornraver card during Phase 3. If you do not take a card with the Thornraver icon, that phase will be skipped. This is a huge part of the strategy of the game, choosing when to make a move play versus when to play a Thornraver card. Phase 3, Thornraver. Because we chose a starting card with the Thornraver icon on it, we will draw and place 1 new horde card into our hand. We'll look at our different options, and we'll then look at the horde play area and play our first horde card on the Overlord or Spine. You must make the light or gold connections. Dark or black connections cannot link cards. You'll play the left side of the card first. If anything like a draw occurs, you will make that draw between plays and then finish the card by playing the right side. In this example, we played Brighthelm. I'll draw 2 cards from the deck, place it on my side, and then I must draw 1 card and place it on the opponent's side. Phase 4, Development. In this development phase, you'll see we are only reinforcing cards by bringing them from the row up to the matching capitals. Because player 1 did not meet the battle requirements, we are skipping that phase and we're going straight to the end of their turn. We must draw and place 1 end of turn card into the neutral area. We have now reached the beginning of player 2's turn. They will reveal their capitals and then make the appropriate placements of their tokens and pawn on the map. They will then make their Phase 1 Headquarter Influence move, moving a purple card +2. This will also trigger a draw. They'll then take a starting card to the recruit row. That will then move a black card -1. It'll also move a brown card -1 and a purple card +1, bringing the district into the allies. They must complete it by drawing 1 and 2 cards into the middle or neutral area. Now, because they banked the district, they must immediately move that district up to the headquarters, which now gives them the ability to move a resource during the developmental phase. Because their starting card had a Thornraver icon, we will move into Phase 3, drawing a horde card into our hand and choosing 1 to play, connecting it to the Spine. We're going to take a second here to give you a little bit more information on Thornraver and how to use mythic cards and build your horde. In order to play a piston or a valve, you must create a space in which they will be automatically triggered. Once you have formed the space in which they can connect, you may choose a mythic card from the available card set and immediately perform the action at any time you choose during your turn. There are also several dark connection mythic cards that can be triggered by aligning 4 separate dark connections. These are the only cards in the game that dark connections can trigger in action. Players may choose to wait on playing the mythic card from a strategic standpoint, but will only be allowed to perform this play during their turn. Any mythic card that hasn't been played by your last turn will not be allowed to be played. Now we'll continue where we left off with Haze Shaper. Haze Shaper allows us to move 2 neutral area cards +1 and any other card on the board +1. This is going to trigger 2 draws into the middle. It's also going to force us to protect a card for the opponent, and the opponent gets to choose 2 cards to protect. Player 2 has now entered the development phase. Because we banked a district earlier, we can now move a resource on the board +1 movement. And we can also reinforce this because the row has a green capital. So we're able to combo those 2 things together. Because we reinforce to the row capital, we now must find and place a resource token in that region, not in our headquarters. Lasting effects are Thornraver cards that give the row a special power. These are typically played during the development phase. If you play a second lasting effect, making that connection will allow you to play both sides, the left and the right, of each lasting effect card. You may only connect to your own lasting effects. Battle phase. In order to battle, you must meet certain requirements. One way to battle is by reinforcing up to 3 cards into your headquarters, and then having at least 5 cards in either row. That will allow you to challenge with the row cards alone. In this case, you'll only be able to use the headquarter power. The second way to challenge is by reinforcing at least 3 cards in one of your capitals. That will give you the ability to challenge with that row if you meet the minimum 5 card requirements. So you could have 3 cards in that row under the capital, and you could have at least 2 cards in the row that are not secured. Defenders must also have 5 cards in the row to be attacked. Now let's simulate a battle. We're going to attack orange with the green capital in the loyalist rows. The green has 3 reinforced cards, the orange only 1. So the green capital will get an advantage in the shuffle. Both cards have a card power. They are able to use that power, but must declare it before the attack begins. So now we're going to take all the cards in the row, including the cards under the capitals. We're going to do the same on the defending row. Players will then shuffle their cards, and each player will remove all but 5 cards unless you have a bonus, and it would be all but 6 cards. Place those cards in the rows and continue on with the battle. Districts do not have to be used in battle, and the green player has decided not to use theirs for this battle. So 2 cards have been removed to give them 5, and only 1 card is removed, so now that player has 6 cards. So now both players will take turns starting with the attacker, and he'll play a 12. The defender also has a 12, but because they have the green leader, they are able to take the 12 down on the opponent's side and make it an 11. And now the brown wins. Now the winner must start, and he'll play a 4, followed by the 6. The 6 is greater than 4, and they lose. So now again, the attacker is going to start. He's going to start with a -4, so he's giving away this round, and there's a win again. Now the attacker is on his back foot. It's because he has to win the next 2 in order to take this. So a 12 is played. There it is, the leader, taking the 12 down to 11. Plays a 15 anyway, getting the victory. So one last play. He's got a 10, so they're going to use the headquarter replacement value, which is going to take the highest headquarter card and place it as the value. The opponent doesn't have a card higher in their headquarters, and they definitely don't have a card higher in their hand, so they lose. All killed cards go into the discard pile. All cards that didn't die go back into the row, and if the cards match the capitals, they go up, even if they weren't there before. The 13 must also go up under the capital because it cannot be used again in the game. And the orange capital has been defeated, and the player must move that orange capital to the opposing row. And that is the battle basics. And now it's time for you to take on Thornraver. This is a game with incredible depth and amazing strategy. The unique experience, because it's a game like you've never played before. Check out thornraver.com and the game guide for a much more in-depth explanation on how to play. So come on, back it, get Thornraver, and have fun.